All right, I'm getting some resistance from the internet here. I'm at WeWork. I'm up on the new floor now. Got a little nicer view. Okay, so this is why I'm using TechnoTutor. If you didn't watch the other first two attempts of this, well, I'll just fill you in from here, okay? So TechnoTutor is a software. It's designed for, on the mainstream, it's really designed for kids and teenagers and students, really, whether you're in grad school or a little kid who hasn't even begun school yet. And it's really effective because it's going straight to the unconscious. Mayor. I love Mayor. Okay, he's watching this right now. All right. Now, what had attracted me to TechnoTutor? I was saying this in the first video. Actually, you know what? Go back, watch the first one if you haven't. Now, I'm going to really get into what has been my journey with it so far. So, TechnoTutor has worked immensely in my life. And in the last video, I was explaining the natural learning ability. Now, okay, when kids get to age 7, that's when the natural learning ability is basically closed off. It's because, like, you know how kids can learn Mandarin or Russian or Spanish as long as you teach them very early on. Then after age 7, their brain's basically set, it's crystallized, and then it just takes a lot more focus to get stuff in. Right? Remember when you were in like high school and you were trying to read flashcards to remember it for the test? And then after the test, how much did you actually remember? Not really anything. Not really anything. And that's why this whole school system's so broken. So what TechnoTutor does, it's called high-speed imprinting, and it's a way for you to put whatever you want into your unconscious, and then you do a little series of steps to then bring it back to the conscious. So this is it's called a direct access memory. And you'll understand throughout the rest of what I talk about why that's so important, why we really need to properly educate ourselves through creating, it's called direct access memories, but I'll get into that in a minute. So, all right, so I get TechnoTutor, and you know I'm a business owner, so I'm looking for always for ways to like develop myself. And TT, as I call it, TechnoTutor, is really the cutting edge of self-development. And then there's also a whole network we have of like-minded people who some are multi-millionaires. One guy, he made $24 million by the time he was 20. And he's one of the visionaries behind building this thing out because he has grandkids. He also sees, what good is it if I'm rich and my family's good if the world is being actively polluted and everyone's afraid to even go outside? Right, so there's a bigger vision behind this thing, and there's really a network, and that's why I'm part of TechnoTutor. And then also Cameron and Katie, who are two of the co-founders, they have 2 kids. Max, who's 3, he's reading above a first grade level. Not just, oh, that's cute, he memorized the ABCs, or oh, this is his favorite book, he's memorized it. It's like, no, like he can pick up, right, like this Yeti thermos, and he could actually identify each of those letters. He can recognize it in different fonts, recognize it in the environment. He can actually process it, and then he'll have a conversation about it. And Max is not special. He's just used TechnoTutor. This is what happens when you're actually teaching to the unconscious. That's why TT is so revolutionary. And if you have kids especially, and you're putting them in public school, private school, that's okay. We're not here to completely try and get you to homeschool your kids or anything, but we want to let you know that there's an option to actually get your kid to be ready for a future that's very uncertain. If you think you're certain about the future, well, please tell me why you would think that, because last time I checked, there's a lot of variables happening right now, and what's the way that you can guarantee that you're ready for an uncertain future? It's called having an effective vocabulary, meaning you know a lot of words and you know a lot about a lot of different things, and you have the ability to use those words and string them together. For example, how am I doing this live stream? How are we communicating? It's words. Think about those thoughts that go in your head all day. What are they? They're words. So that's why TechnoTutor addresses the words. And we can go more into that. You know, you can send me a message if you actually want to hear more about the details. But yeah, so I joined because I run businesses and I know that my current programming will not get me to the next level. right? If I want to get my business over $1 million a year, well, that's a whole set of vocabulary, right? I need to build a team. I need to have systems, processes, all that stuff, human resources. I need to have the right contracts in place. It's every level you get to, there's a new set of vocabulary. It's actually pretty obvious. Like I see it very clearly now. So I got TechnoTutor back in August, and what initially sold me on it was I can just program my goals into this, put it straight into the unconscious, and then I just go throughout my day-to-day, and just new ideas start popping up in my mind. And then with the support I got extensively from Kian and Asif, who are the two guys who brought me into it, they mentored me through how to properly set my goals and use TechnoTutor to keep working through my goals till, so my best month I did in one of my businesses was $3K in profit per month, like all year. It was like $3K was my best. After I really started taking this seriously, really restructuring myself on an unconscious level, next month I made $4K. Month after that was 5, and then jumped to 10. December I made $20K. January, in revenue, I'd made $250,000 in January alone, and I got $30,000 in profit. This is from one of my businesses. I have multiple. Why didn't I get that earlier on? Because my mind was all screwed up. My programming was not there. Now, how do I know that? Because I worked my ass off every single day. I was reading books. I read over 100 books last year. I really go all out in what I do. But what was the issue? I was trying to use the conscious mind, which is like 0.5%. Between 0.5% and 2% of what's going on is your conscious mind. 98% of it is unconscious. That's why TechnoTutor teaches to that. And that's why it works so freaking good. Now I'm at the next level where I'm looking, okay, if that's what I could do in January, I got to go to the next level. Charlene, yeah, absolutely, especially with your kids. And it's the most phenomenal education tool I've ever found. And it just works. It's so funny. I meet some people. Okay, it's like if you're at the gym, let's say you're a personal trainer, right? And someone's walking to the gym and they're like, oh yeah, this looks kind of cool. Like yeah, I see people like like lifting weights. Like, well, okay, maybe I'll try like lifting a weight. Like, but how do I know the lifting the weight is gonna work? You laugh at the person. You're like, oh my God, like you just show up and just lift the weights. Like that's just how it works. And it's so funny because it's actually a physical process. Real learning at this rate is a physical process, but that'll take a little while for some of you to get. Okay, now what have I noticed? This is what I really want to get into in this live stream. It won't be very long, but I do want to really talk about this. Is what have I noticed since I started using it consistently? Is, well, one, I just think a lot more clearly. I don't have like mind chatter going on and I'm like going back and forth in my mind thinking through stuff. My thoughts are just very effective and they're in line with my goals. Like I said, I just threw in, I had probably 15 main goals, from business to relationships to the kind of person I want to be with my friends, with my family, and I just put it in. And then, I don't know, 48 hours later, I'm just like, huh, never thought about it that way. I should watch a YouTube video on that, right? And then I just keep going, and then I would keep using TechnoTutor to keep programming myself better and better. And then it all just is true. It just comes true in my life. It's like the coolest thing. And so that's why I don't sell TechnoTutor. I just share what it's done for me, and people just get it for themselves. Now, what else have I noticed? Well, you ever have those aha moments, like a cognition? Like you're reading a blog, and the author just puts it in a certain way, and you're like, aha, oh, I get it. Oh, I should do that next time I'm in that situation. So that's kind of what I get with TechnoTutor. But it's way more intense in the sense of, not intense, but it's like a series of cognitions. So now I'm reading a book, and it's not like once a chapter I get a cognition. It's like every paragraph I get a cognition. Or I'll have a conversation with my friend Kian or with Cameron, and it's not just, oh, one aha moment and then I go on with my day. It's like I have a series of cognitions where everything starts piecing together. I'm like, this is how real learning should actually be. We shouldn't be banking on getting one cognition a week. It should be one cognition every 10 minutes. Like, that's real learning, right? Okay, you've heard Bill Gates. This person just choose the vacuum right here. All right, everyone, this is what happens in the live stream. I'm gonna walk past them, and I'm gonna go upstairs. Stay with me. It's called adaptability, and it's what we're gonna need more and more of as we go into an uncertain future. You're gonna have to think on your feet and adapt. Okay. So these cognitions, right, that you're getting, there we go, that's better. Like even that guy, I hate to say it, but he's like vacuuming here. And like, I'm grateful that he's vacuuming here, but if you've seen what they've done with bots and dynamics robots, and how they're DoorDash, like, there's not going to be a lot of work in the future unless you're highly educated. And this is our responsibility, whether we're parents or maybe we have nieces and nephews who are younger, or even for our loved ones. We need to be the kind of people that are highly educated. So you can really understand, how does the world system work? How does money work? How does building real wealth work? How can I not trade time for money? Right? And so that's what TechnoTutor has helped me with. But even more so, it's the community of TechnoTutor, because there's a lot of people who are very successful who are part of it. So now, what else have I noticed? I mean, yeah, a lot of monetary success. I noticed that in my relationships, I don't react like I used to. Or if I get a reaction, it's more of a response now. And I'm just able to be present and really notice what's coming up. And that is priceless, because now I don't snap back. If someone snaps at me, I don't snap back. I just breathe. I'm like, oh, I want to snap back. Okay, what's a more effective way of doing this? And they say, okay, well, where are you coming from? Okay, here's where I'm coming from. Let's work to a mutual solution. So like, that's a practical way of this. And now, I mean, I could go on and on about what I've noticed and what's changed, but really, like, the financial aspect has been massive. The ability to articulate what's on my mind and what I know is the best to do in every situation, or if I don't know what to do, my ability to articulate the question that will get me the answer that I want. That's been huge. Now, also just supporting both my family and I have friends who have like younger siblings or have kids, and to see their growth with it has been phenomenal. There's a story from Carlos, who's one of our, another guy who's using TechnoTutor with his family. I'll just share this quick because this is absolutely wonderful. His daughter didn't like to go to the pool, and she didn't want to swim. She's 4. And she would have the floaties on and just be fearful of the water. And Carlos is saying, in the past, I would have just said, okay, she's just probably not going to like swimming. Well, she can do soccer instead or something. He's like, no, I have TechnoTutor. What if this is just a problem with how she's got the information structured? And so he just helps her work through some words, like teaching her the word confidence and swimming, and understanding what is the consequence of if she doesn't want to swim. Like if she has friends one day that have a pool party and she can't swim, like or they go to the ocean on vacation, she can't enjoy swimming. So think about that, right? Guess what happened? The next time they go to the pool, she not only takes off the floaties and is like, Dad, like, look at me swimming. She goes in the deep end. She jumps in and swims to her dad, not once, but 20 times, having the time of her life swimming. Now, I don't know any swim instructor or any book or anything out there that can do that, because it's Carlos's daughter and that word and what that word represents, like confidence or courage and swimming. When that word is properly within her and she has a definition to it, she can now reasonably have a conversation with her father. It's phenomenal, phenomenal stuff. And that's just one of probably 30 different stories I could tell you. Now, lastly, why should you check out TechnoTutor? Well, you owe it to yourself to at least have a conversation with me about it. I am not a high pressure person, and I'm not going to say you need to get TechnoTutor today, ASAP. I know it will benefit you the sooner you get it. I'm not going to try and force you into it. You have free will. It's on you to decide what kind of life you want to live. But if you really look at your education and how you went through the school system, or maybe you were homeschooled or had private school, and did that thing really prepare you for the real world? I doubt it. And really, if you don't already have what you want, like really great relationships, or if you have kids, like, are they actually reading and excelling in their education? Are they excited to wake up? Are you excited to wake up every day? Or do you kind of drudge through the week looking forward to the weekend or unplugging, right? It's like, we're actually here to create a life where you can really love it. And that's huge. And then also with TechnoTutor, you're not only getting the most cutting edge self-development tool, but you get access to a network. And we're not going to be like, oh yeah, join, and then, oh, you have to stay in, and we're going to charge you every month. TechnoTutor is not like that. You just get it once, and you have support for life. Because we aren't doing this for the money. We're not doing it for the money alone. Business is set up very intentionally and is genius and has the highest level of integrity out of any business I've ever worked with. I'm going to say that again. TechnoTutor has the highest level of integrity of any business I've ever worked with. And so you really owe it to yourself to at least have a conversation with me about it, because even if it's not you who ends up using it or gets it, maybe you know someone who has kids or that struggles with anything to do with education. We know that education is so important, and it's going to keep getting more important as the world keeps changing. And lastly, it's like the level of, the level of stability that I now have with my emotions and my well-being and my certainty and my ability to create, that is priceless in itself. Because I wake up so excited every day. Like, who am I going to meet? What are we going to do? What are we going to talk about? Because I actually know that it's all working, and that feeling is priceless. And then finally, it's like really just holding yourself to a higher standard. We have a community of people who really do hold a higher standard, and we're here to support each other. We're really here to support each other. So that's that. I know that this is a few videos. Thank you for everyone who watched through the end, because the internet got a little weird here. But you know, you got to persevere, right? There's going to be a lot of that in life. You're going to get a lot of resistance, and it's going to be on you to persevere, but you don't have to do it alone, right? Any and every single person on here who's watching this video and who is interested and wants to learn more and ends up getting TechnoTutor and becoming part of our community, I'm there for you, and I'll support you through anything and everything that you're going through, because the tool works. It's that simple. All right, everyone, have a wonderful day. Reach out to me in Messenger, and I look forward to chatting with all of you more. All right, bye.